And we're live.
Call the meeting of the Board of Adjustment to order on this date, June 16, 2016.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Yes, we do.
You ready to go?
Okay.
You don't have anyone signed up for public comments at this time. I know that the applicant has a representative here right now, and we're still open to take public comments if the chairman would recognize them.
Is there anybody in attendance that wants to make a public comment? Appears no.
Item 3. You want us to approve the minutes?
Approval of previous minutes. Do I have a motion on the floor, or do I have any questions on the previous minutes before we move to approve?
I move we accept.
Second?
Motion granted.
To approve. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you.
Next item is the application by First United Presbyterian Church for the granting of a special exception, street address 103 East Warner, for a special use permit to operate a two-booth beauty salon, nail salon, out of a detached structure. And our documents include a photograph of that detached structure. I'm assuming it's the little building between the two larger ones. Are there any questions?
I'm wondering, will there be a sign advertising the beauty shop?
Sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Could we ask staff, by the way, first, if there are any notifications?
Well, either one?
Either or.
We
There were
definitely have staff
no,
report
there were
first.
no comments made. We did send out
18 letters.
18 letters, and we didn't receive any kind of comments, whether positive or negative.
Are there any other comments from staff before we begin?
I just want to show you that I've added a couple individual flyers as well, just to show you why you're looking at this. This is more of a process deal. The zoning code ordinance 2422 does allow this, but just under conditional use, and a conditional use is a special use permit granted by this board. So it's not outside the realm for us to consider anything like this. We're actually authorized to. It's just more of a process hurdle just to get through.
Thank you, Cody.
Will there
Go
be a
ahead.
sign out front?
State board's regulations actually require that there is a sign posted saying that it is, a nail salon, beauty salon, whatever. Whatever the city codes are, I try to work to, satisfy those codes and also satisfy whatever state board is expecting as well.
I'm sorry, can you state your name? I know that I've worked with you before, but
It's Brianna.
Brianna. And your last name, Brianna.
Avila Alhamdani.
I'll get the spelling from you later.
Is this actually something that the church you're running this through the Presbyterian Church? Is it?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, it's already gone through their board and has been approved. As far as I understand, she's got a letter stating that they did that and put it all in their minutes too, so.
This is a property owned.
It's,
Okay.
it's a rental.
And we own some of the property around the church, and this is one of the rentals.
Just for clarification, we did hear from
The church.
a member in the
church
audience that it
on
is
the other two
a,
houses.
I'm sorry, Cody was just saying something. What?
just for anyone who's watching, just an audience member did contribute that it was a property owned by the church.
As well as the other two homes around it are owned by the church.
The question on the sign, Cody, if state requires that a beauty shop or nail salon has a sign, are there any guidelines for the type of sign that she can put out there?
They would have to abide by our current sign guidelines. And I don't have a copy of those with me. But we'll definitely work with the applicant if she's approved.
Okay, good information here, looked it over. Some concerns, obviously parking is a concern. You have 2 spots. You have 2 chairs, you have 2 customers, you have no further spots.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that maybe your attendants, your cosmetologist, you're parking at the Presbyterian lot or something?
Yes, over in the Fellowship Center, there's plenty of parking, so that would be my parking. Starting out, it's just going to be me, and till further notice, it's just going to be me running it. I'm just starting it up, so I would be parking at Presbyterian. I can only service one client at a time. So with the 2 parking spots, I think that it would be probably more than enough for me
We note, of
on
course,
my own.
on the street, there's no parking either side
Yes,
on that particular street area.
yes.
And
Well, this is division, where this building is, but there is street parking on Warner.
right, you
Am I
could park
correct?
around in front of that home, I guess, if you want.
Do you rent the home as well?
No, I don't.
I guess I would like to make sure that maybe as part of the condition here, that obviously I'm sure you're going to do some cleanup, that the parking area be clearly marked.
Oh,
For
absolutely.
2 spots, and probably you should have a sign that says for customer parking only.
Okay.
So that nobody else just pulls in there. And of course, with only, even if you build up to 2 people, not much area for, if you got 2 customers, not much area for the waiters, but maybe you could, I don't know, you might want to consider additional parking at the Presbyterian lot, if that's allowable or something. Because your parking is tight, and that's a tight street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a problem
No,
at all?
not at all.
Mr. Chairman, I have no problem making a motion that we accept this with those conditions, that the parking be clearly marked, maybe signs, customers only.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Can I add something
Aye.
first?
Comment, Lou.
Can I- Just before we vote. With signage on the building, something that might be considered, because, I've got issue with too much signage. You don't want 2 signs out front, say parking only for, you might consider having the parking for customers only on the sign for the beauty shop.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you don't have 3 signs out front?
Yeah.
Because you are, essentially, it's sort of a residential area. I know it's commercial across the street, but you might minimize the amount of signs
Okay.
by just tagging and, of course, abiding by it, because you're going to be the one that might be tempted to park there.
Well, Commissioner Chapel, there's a couple of posts there right now that you can certainly affix very small signs that said
signs,
for
too.
parking, customer parking only, and then I'm assuming, as you mentioned, there was a little sign on the building.
On the
about
building, directly on the building?
But the parking itself could be on those small, there's stop posts right there right now that would not be.
Okay.
I would just work with Cody on your sign.
Okay.
What will it be called?
It's actually called Pure Lux.
Okay, great.
It's called what?
Pure Lux.
Okay.
And it's a hair salon or nails?
No, it's just going to be nails for now. Yeah. Later in the future, I might open up a booth for hairstylists,
And
but
petties too?
yes, I will have petties.
We have a motion to approve with the applicant understanding that parking needs to be identified. Motion was made and seconded. I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
And having opened a salon before, parking is not usually a problem. It takes a while to get busy, so hang in there.
Is there any other business
No staff
for
comments.
the board?
No staff comments.
Did you say no staff comments?
No staff comments.
Then,
You might ask if there's any commission comments.
any commission comment?
Not from this spot.
Not for me?
I know, it's bizarre, but no.
Chairman, you're free to adjourn.
And I do so.